Hi, Mark Power here again to talk about stuttering. Let me take a look at the question, how stuttering used to affect me. Most of you know that I did stutter myself for the first 30 years of my life. The first time I recall stuttering, I didn't actually remember that I stuttered. My mom told me that when I was a preschooler, in the neighborhood, there was this other kid, a 2-year-old kid named Georgie, and he used to make fun of me. I don't really remember that, but my mom said that it really upset me. So probably some negative feelings starting to occur with me even before I really realized it. First time I remember it was when I started to go to school. The time that I remember most was really when stuttering became in my own awareness. I stuttered before, but I really wasn't in a situation where it affected me as much as this one situation. So when I went to school about the 3rd or 4th grade, every morning a different student was chosen to read the morning news and talk about the weather. Everybody looked forward to that. They had a fake microphone there, and you went up in front of the class and just talked about the news and the weather for a few minutes. And that was a lot of fun. So finally it was my turn. Well, I walked up there and got behind that microphone and I said, "Hi, my name is and nothing came out. The rest of the class that were watching me, they laughed. You know what I did? I laughed too because it was kind of funny. It was unexpected for me. Then I said to myself, well, let me try that again. So I tried again. I said, "Hi, my name is Same thing happened again. The rest of the class, what did they do? They laughed. This time I did not laugh. I knew that it was out of my control and something was very wrong. So I don't remember exactly what I did, but I think I just excused myself and sat down at that point. So from then on, I knew that something was different about me when I tried to talk, and it was really terrifying. I remember also, this was in the early elementary school, early elementary classes. I actually was interested in a girl. Her name was Ann Beach, and I remember walking up to her. And I wanted to ask her if I could walk her home from school. So I did walk up to her, and as I got close to her, I started to say something, and nothing came out. Now, she hadn't noticed that I was there yet, so I just walked back to my seat. And from that point on, I was afraid to talk to her and to many other people. During the classes, all the way through elementary school and even high school, I made some conscious decisions. People would raise their hands if they knew the answer. I knew the answer, but I didn't do that. I didn't want to take a chance on stuttering. I also spent a lot of time watching TV growing up. I think that had something to do with the fact that I wasn't really outgoing. I didn't start conversations. I didn't participate. So making friends was hard for me. Now, when I went to a high school, they had a tradition. And every morning they had chapel. And the first thing that happened in chapel was one of the seniors had an opportunity to do their senior speech. Well, I came in as a freshman, and this was my first time in this school. When I saw that, I became terrified because I could just play the movie forward and anticipate that a few years from then, I would have to get up there and try to talk in front of the whole class. That scared me to death. So every time those seniors went up there and did their senior speech and started talking, I was just terrified and I was scared. And that happened all the way through freshman and sophomore and junior year. But right at the end of junior year, they changed their policy and they got rid of that senior speech. They said it was taking up too much time, and the tradition was we moved on to do something else. I was just so relieved. It was the best thing that could ever have happened to me. I remember also clearly when I would call up on the phone to talk to a friend of mine, a lot of times their parents would answer the phone. Well, now my friends knew that I stuttered, but when their parents answered the phone, that was scary for me. So I typically wouldn't even have a repetition or a block. I would just not be able to make a sound. So when this happened over several times and my friends' parents knew that I stuttered, I would get a response after about 10 or 15 seconds of silence. I would hear, "Is that you out there, Mark?" And that was me. So they got used to that. Also, when I was in college, I used to come home in the summers and I would drive a taxi in the little village that I lived in. The problem was every time I had to be at the train station and let the dispatcher know that I was ready for another call, I just had to say 4-3 vacant down in the train station. Well, I would have a problem saying that, and eventually the dispatcher, good old Jim, knew about my stuttering, and he would say also, "Hey, is that you out there, Mark?" So I had, I think, a badge of honor, the fact that everybody knew and accepted my stuttering. I really did appreciate that. So these are some of the hard situations that I went through. One of the hardest was when I got my first job, and I was a speech pathologist, and I still stuttered severely. The first job was at a rehabilitation hospital, and I worked with stroke patients. Now that wasn't that hard or terrifying because they actually could hardly understand what I was saying because of their disability, so I wasn't too threatened. But every Friday, I remember the first thing in the morning, we would have staffings of the patients, which meant we would all sit around this big table and go one by one through the therapies. We just have to do a little report, a paragraph or two, and then move on to the next patient. Well, the first time I did that, I had a 30-second block. And everybody looked at me because the speech pathologist couldn't talk. So I almost lost that job, and I almost got fired from that. But it was about the same time that I found a therapy program that worked for me. And I have been using or presenting a therapy program that is effective for people who come to me that stutter. If you'd like to know more about that, you can take the next steps, follow my YouTube videos, and make a consultation call with me. I'll be glad to talk to you and find out about your situation and find out if my treatment program is a good fit for you. Anyway, thanks for listening. Bye. Mark Power here, and if you like this video, then don't forget to like and subscribe for more helpful videos like this one. Also, be sure to hit the share button and leave us a comment below so that others can benefit from it as well. I'll be recording a lot more helpful videos like this one to help you overcome your stuttering. And if you'd like to be notified, then click on the bell icon below.